What's up? How's everybody doing? It's your host, John Gebner. We got episode 4 GEP Talk, NBA edition. Let's get it. All right, so we're still in the week 6 of NBA, almost sliding into week 7, and a lot of storylines. First storyline on episode 4 GEP Talk, we're going to talk about, do the 76ers have what it takes to reach the NBA Finals? NBA analysis Jay Williams said they don't. Let's take a deeper look at the 76ers right now. They're in the first seed in the Eastern Conference, and they stand at 16-6 right now. They got Joel Embiid, who currently number one in the MVP race, who's averaging 28.3 points, 11.1 rebounds, and 2.8 assists a night. And then you got Tobias Harris, who's taking a big step this year, 20 points. You got Shake Milne, he's giving you 14.3. Seth Curry, 13.9. Ben Simmons, 13.3. And the young rookie, Tyrese Maxey, 9.6. And not to mention, you still got the three-point shooter, Danny Green. The 76ers are a big threat, and they're really playing good basketball right now. First-year coach Doc Rivers will definitely be considered a coach of the year candidate. But for me, right now, I think it's a little too much hype. I think the 76ers might still finish on 1 to 2 seed at the end of the season. But when it comes playoff time, I don't think they're going to get out the East. I still like the Celtics or the Nets right now over the 76ers. All right, the next topic we got to talk about is the Miami Heat. Paul Pierce recently said that he doesn't think the Miami Heat are going to make the playoffs. Right now, the Miami Heat stand at 7-14. This team's been plagued by injuries, COVID all year. They had Jimmy Butler. He went down. Sending prayers to Jimmy Butler. Hope he's okay. He seems okay, but he reports that he lost 12 pounds during his quarantine, during his him having COVID. You had Tyler Hero. He just got tested positive for COVID, and the Miami Heat are struggling right now. They're 7-14, and they're not doing good, and they're a lot of games behind making the playoffs. I think they're in the 11-12 seed in the East. And we're talking about a team who just went to the finals. Maybe it's the wear and tear on the body, not a long off season, which I understand. Like Jimmy Butler had the Miami Heat go to the NBA Finals last season. Not a lot of people thought they would, and they really overextend themselves and really proved people wrong. So maybe it's the wear and tear on the body, but they're really starting to off to a slow start. But they got a great coach, Eric Spoelstra, and they got a star player, Jimmy Butler. So maybe he could turn around, but they need to get it going quick. I know Jimmy Butler is going to be back on the court for them soon, so they really need to start winning. Next topic, Brad Stevens said that LeBron James really should win MVP every year, but people would get bored of him winning every year. And he's absolutely right. LeBron James could win every MVP every year. Just look at his stats. He pretty much averages a triple double every year. His team always competes. He gets everybody involved, and he makes people better. But I understand the NBA is a business, and they got to give other people MVP. As you see, Giannis won back-to-back MVPs 2 years in a row. So I understand why they don't give LeBron James MVP every year. But in my opinion, LeBron could win MVP every year. Next topic we got we got Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine, member of Chicago Bulls, my Chicago Bulls. He's been playing great all season. He's averaging 26.6 points per game. There's been talk about trade rumors. And I really hope the Bulls don't trade Zach LaVine. He was the key piece of the Jimmy Butler trade. And that feels like forever ago. That was 2015, 2016 when we traded Jimmy Butler away. And now Zach LaVine's hitting his prime and we're thinking about trading him away. The teams that are getting involved right now, the New York Knicks. And the New York Knicks, like we said in the last episode, they've been a surprise team so far. And they're trying to make it run at Zach LaVine. So, and I looked at the trade options. So the first one, you got RJ Barrett, Kevin Knox, and Frank Ntilikina for Zach LaVine and Luke Cornett. RJ Barrett, former first round pick, Kevin Knox, first round pick, and Frank also was a first round pick. But for Zach LaVine, I'm gonna have to respectively decline New York Knicks. Then you got Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson for Zach LaVine, and Chandler Hutchinson. Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson for Zach LaVine. Where's the scoring we're getting back? Where's the front court scoring? Okay, the last trade is the most interesting to me. I guess if I guess I would out of all three, the trades for Zach LaVine, I would like this one the most. So it's a 3-team trade. The Orlando Magic would have to get involved. So the Bulls will get Nikola Vucevic, Dennis Smith Jr., Jonathan Isaac, and a future unprotected first round pick from the Knicks. And then, then the Knicks will get Zach LaVine and Terrence Ross, and the Magic will get Wendell Carter, Laurie Markin, and Otto Porter Jr. If the Bulls pulled this off, or the Bulls not even pulled this off, if the Bulls did this, it would trade two of the biggest pieces from the Jimmy Butler trade, the pick after that, and the young core of Markkanen, Wendell Carter, Zach LaVine would be over and dead. But Jonathan Isaac will be coming back from injury next year. Vucevic is a really good player. He's better than Wendell Carter, absolutely. So our lineup would be a Kobe White, a first-round pick, which would have to be a front court player. We also are going to have our first-round pick. If we trade Zach LaVine, we're going to get a top 10 pick. And maybe that will turn to Jalen Suggs, Cade Cunningham, and then Jonathan Isaac, Dennis Smith Jr. coming off the bench, and we got rid of Markkanen. So we'd have to get another power forward with our other first-round pick. So maybe that will work out. It could be a decent little trade package for the Bulls. Another huge storyline. There's another trade rumor that I'm talking about. A lot of people are talking about Bradley Beal might be traded. According to reports, Bradley Beal says he does not want to leave the Washington Wizards. He wants to stay a Wizard, and he wants to have the team build around him. He says no to a trade. A lot of teams wanted him. The Lakers were looking at him. The Clippers were looking at a lot of playoffs teams. We're talking about Bradley Beal. This guy led the league in scoring last year and didn't even make an all-star. Bradley Beal is a walking bucket. You got to give it to him, and that's his right. He got drafted by the Wizards. Why not stay with the Wizards? He wants to build around. They really started off to a slow start. They're 5-13. They really need to get it going. They really need to start winning a bunch of games. Next topic, Anthony Davis said the Brooklyn Nets are the biggest threat to the Lakers right now. And absolutely, we're talking about James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. Obviously, they're the biggest threat to the Lakers. But guess what? The Brooklyn Nets are not going to beat the Los Angeles Lakers in the finals if they can't play no defense. They're going to score, but the Lakers are going to play their brand of basketball. They're going to slow the game down, and they're going to score, and they're going to get a lot more stops than the Brooklyn Nets. I'll tell you that. So the Brooklyn Nets and Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, you guys got to get something together quick, because the scoring of your guys' games recently will be 140, 130. The Wizards score 140. The Cavaliers scored 140. You guys got to get something together quick. But what I wanted to talk about, the Brooklyn Nets just signed Iman Shumpert. Decent little pickup. He's been out the league. Just signed him. If I was the Brooklyn Nets, might as well sign Lance Stevenson, Mike Beasley. Might as well sign those type of guys, because that's the only money you have, because now you got Harden, his contract. So might as well. So now I'm going to talk about the Rookie of the Year update. And recently, who's been taking over the Rookie of the Year? Charlotte Hornets, that dude, the point guard, LaMelo Ball. Recently just dropped 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists, and 4 steals against the Milwaukee Bucks with the win. LaMelo Ball has been on another level, and you just got to love the way he plays basketball. Like, he's a team-first player. He plays quick. Him and Miles Bridges, that whole team's electric. You got Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier, PJ Washington. The Charlotte Hornets are building something, and they really got a nice team, and they're an excited team to watch. Absolutely. And so LaMelo Ball recently, he wasn't number one so far. Rookie of the Year so far, you got to give it to Tyrese Halliburton from Iowa State. He went later than he was supposed to, steal the draft at number 12 pick, and he's been averaging 10.7 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 5 assists. For people who question Tyrese Halliburton's shot, he's really proved them wrong. Number 3, the Warriors with James Wiseman, the big man. He's got Draymond Green coaching him up. And the 4, Anthony Edwards. And Anthony Edwards has really been taking strides too. And hopefully the Minnesota Timberwolves just say fuck it and just let Anthony Edwards start the game because he should be starting and just keep getting him better, keep improving, not wasting his first year. But that's my opinion. But right now, LaMelo Ball leading the Rookie of the Year race so far. So a storyline from the other night: the Washington Wizards beat the Brooklyn Nets the other day, 149 to 146. The the Wizards were down by 5 points with 11 seconds left. Bradley Beal went up the court, shot a three. Next thing you know, Joe Harris turns over the ball. Russell Westbrook pulls up against his former teammate Kevin Durant and sinks the shot to win the game. The Brooklyn Nets, once again, you guys got to get things together. Like, we know you guys are going to score, but the Washington Wizards, you guys need to win those type of games big time. That was not a game you guys should have lost. No reason, no reason to lose that game if you're the Brooklyn Nets. There's absolutely no reason. Uh, hold on. Brooklyn. Stats from that night: Kevin Durant, 37 points. Joe Harris, 30 points. Kyrie Irving, 26. For the Wizards, Russell Westbrook dropped 41 points. Bradley Beal, 37. James Harden didn't play. The only bright side about the Brooklyn Nets right now is James Harden is leading the NBA in assists right now. And for all those people that said they can't, there's only one basketball, how will it work? They're really proving them wrong on the scoring end. But it all comes down to the defense for the Brooklyn Nets. Another thing I want to talk about: Lonzo Ball and the New York Pelicans might become the New Orleans Pelicans, I should say, might be coming to an end. The Pelicans so far have been a team that's failed expectations with all the hype around Brandon Ingram, Lonzo, Zion. They're really taking a step back this season, and they're 7-12 and in the 14th seed in the Western Conference. Maybe it's the coach Steve Van Gundy, but the New Orleans Pelicans have not been playing good basketball, and the system's off. Lonzo's losing confidence, and he might be on his way out. Some teams that have been looking at him are my Chicago Bulls. Well, I'd love to have Lonzo Ball. He's a pass-first player. He gets the team involved, and the Golden State Warriors, which will be very interesting because you got LeVar Ball, who said his son was better than Steph Curry in college, but Lonzo playing that quick offense with Steph Curry, and if he stays there for another year, you got Klay Thompson coming back, so it might be a decent little spot for him. The shout outs for the week: Nikola Jokic and James Harden were your players of the week this week, and then Nikola Jokic won Western Conference Player of the Month for the first month of the NBA, and Joel Embiid won Eastern Conference Player of the Week. So shout out to the two big men for winning the Player of the Month, and shout out to James Harden for winning the Player of the Week. He's really been playing good basketball on the Nets, and you can't blame it on James Harden on the Nets. And then another shout out I want to give out to Fred VanVleet from Rockville, Illinois, Wichita State. He scored 54 points last night, and he passed Moses Malone for the most points by an undrafted player of all time. Most points by an undrafted player ever to do that. Fred VanVleet was a walking bucket at Wichita State, starting point guard for 4 years. He won a bunch of games at Wichita State. This is what I'm talking about. In the NBA, you find undrafted players and you find steals. But Fred VanVleet shouldn't have been undrafted. You could ask me, he shouldn't. Like, I would have picked him first, second round, maybe late second round. This is the dude we're talking about who gave Steph Curry buckets in the NBA Finals and won him the game down the stretch with the Toronto Raptors. Kawhi won MVP, but Game 6, Fred VanVleet, just watch the highlights. Go back to him. He was giving Steph Curry the work. And really exciting news: the NBA and NBA's player associations are coming near agreement for an All-Star game in March 7th. This game will be in Atlanta at State Farm Arena. I really hope it happens. With everything COVID going on, if the NBA loses its All-Star game, it'll be a huge loss, like, to the fans, like, for all the kids that watching who just turned the NBA, because, like, as a young kid, just turning on the dunk contest. As a kid, I was such an NBA fan. I watched everything, every Rising Stars, every skills challenge, every dunk contest, every competition. It was 3 days. Those 2 3 days, those were the best basketball weekend besides March Madness. So I really hope they get an All-Star game going. But that was episode 4 of GEP Talk. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna keep pumping out the content. I appreciate all the supporters, all the listeners, and I really love what I'm doing. And I'm gonna see you guys soon. Episode 4 GEP Talk. You guys be smooth.